I got a morning routine, and it's free for me, it's free for you. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Jeffrey Butts, and I'm a doctor of dental surgery, and this channel is all about health and wellness for you to be healthy and wealthy. And today we're talking about, I want to share my free morning routine with you, okay? So the morning routine starts the night before. The night before is when the morning routine starts? Yes it is, okay? So the night before, between like 9:30 and 10 p.m., I'm going to bed. It's very difficult to do that. There's so many things going on at night sometimes that I'm just like, ooh, look at that. Oh, I'm like a cat, like a panther looking at prey all the time. But I'm like, no, don't do that. Go to bed. So I force myself to go to bed and then I'm able to wake up with 8 hours of rest at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I do some things. So this is free. You don't have to read a book to do this. You don't have to have any kind of extra money to do what I'm telling you to do right here, okay? So in the morning, usually there's no sunlight in the morning, okay? So a great thing to do is to get silent once you wake up. You use the restroom, right? Or I use the restroom, and then I get silent with my meditation. I have a couple of videos on meditation, and the meditation helps, to me, it helps ground me in the universe. The universe, I did say that, yes, because we are all part of the universe. We are all each other, and I feel like I know this now as a grown man. I didn't know this as a young man, but I'm sharing this grown man information with you. This is what it seems like. We are really all one. The universe is all around us, and from within is how you see it from without. So if you change the inside, you get to change the things that you get to see and come at you from the outside. So meditation for me is my number one thing that I do when I get up and after I use the restroom, right? I'm drinking some water. I'm getting hydrated, and my water is usually, this is not necessarily commercial for Athletic Greens, but I do use Athletic Greens. I got it from Andrew Huberman. It's basically probiotics, prebiotics, vitamins and minerals, a plethora of vitamins and minerals that I take in warm water with a little creatine. And that is what that starts my hydration. And before I leave the house, I want to drink about 3 glasses of water. I really do want to get my hydration in the morning. So the meditation is now a hydrated Jeffrey, connecting with the universe and saying some things. So I have my affirmations in there where I have a list of things that I say to myself that I want to see for today and every day for myself. And an affirmation is something that your subconscious would just not be able to dispute. So if you say, I'm attempting to get better every day, that could be a true statement for you. So you just have to make sure that whatever you say, you write it down and then you repeat it. And if you're going super crazy, there's this guy, Nikola Tesla, which is what Elon Musk based his company off of. And Tesla was a huge proponent of the universe and sacred geometry. And the number 3, which is actually my number, the number 3 for Tesla was a very strong number. So the affirmations, you could do this morning, noon, and night. And you would do 3 times in the morning, 3 times in the afternoon, and 9 times at night before you go to sleep, and just let it go, right? So affirmations are very important to me. So after my meditation, I am ready to get up and face some things. The one thing that I actually don't love doing is exercise, all right? So it depends on whether I'm gonna go to my 6:30 a.m. kickboxing class, or it's not one of those days that has the 6:30 a.m. and I'm gonna lift weights, right? So I'll do some jumping jacks. I'll do this thing that my trainer, Cairo, if you checked out that video with me and my trainer, she showed me some things, and I just do those warm-ups, and then I just push some weights, squats, push-ups. I'll even do burpees in the house for like a minute. but I am definitely working up a sweat. I probably only work out when I'm not at kickboxing. I probably only work out for about 20 or 30 minutes. But that 20, 30 minutes, I am sweaty, I have done some things, and I'm ready for the next thing. And also, this time in the morning, there's no sun out, right? But right around the time I'm done exercising, the sun starts coming out. So I put on some clothes, I go outside and put on, the appropriate amount of clothes, as little as possible and enough to be comfortable, because I get out into the sunshine. Now, even if it's not a sunny day and it's just overcast, and I know that the sun's around there somewhere, it's okay, I get out there, because what that does, it helps the sunlight get into my eyes. We have our neurotransmitters in our body, right? And one of them is melatonin. Melatonin is something that gets suppressed by sunlight, and we have a lot of it in the morning. When the light hits our eyes, then it starts going down, and that melatonin changes into serotonin, which is what helps us get sleep. So it's just basically sleep hygiene in order to get your circadian sleep-wake rhythm, so that your body, which is really just a machine, can have some things that it can always rely on. And when it's able to rely on these things, it's able to work in a more predictable, functional way. But that is not all that the sun does, okay? So the sun converts this precursor to vitamin D, which is called 7-dihydrocholesterol. And when the sun hits it, it starts the process of the conversion of this 7-dihydrocholesterol into actual vitamin D, which is what we can use for immune function. Now, right now at this recording, it is approaching winter, it's still fall, right? And it's the cold season. Like, this is right when COVID 2019, 2020 started popping up its ugly, ugly head all around the world. How that happened so quickly, nobody knows. So what happens is, when you're getting your proper vitamin D, you're boosting your immune system, and these things like viruses and colds, or viruses and bacteria that can cause colds and sickness in us, it can happen less if we're all pumped up with enough vitamin D, all right? So you can take supplemental vitamin D also, but I like getting it naturally for free from the sun. I'm gonna say it. I mean, we're in Atlanta, okay? I'm in Atlanta. And really, any city that I'm in, I'm gonna try to do this, but it's still really hard for me, because I'm a very clean, really clean person. I try to be clean. I do it. I take off my shoes and my socks, and I walk around in the grass, and I stay there for like 15 minutes. I know. Now, the grass patch that I find, I perused the area several times, so I'm making a circle in this grass. But what I'm talking about right here, guys, is I ground myself with earth, right? So grounding is what it's called, and it's the most free pill you can take. So I got my sunlight, and then I am grounding myself with earth's energy. And grounding has so many benefits for you. It helps reduce inflammation, and this is barefoot to the ground, to the soil, to the grass, to the possible pee-pee and the poop that's been scooped up by somebody for their dog. Yes, I've been there, okay? But it makes me closer to earth, okay? And I've never ever seen anything on the bottom of my feet before I put my socks back on. But yes, I do walk barefoot in the grass, because that helps with inflammation and grounding me to earth. So grounding also increases the alkalinity of the body and decreases inflammation. So alkalinity is what we want for our body, because that helps promote kind of a more clean atmosphere or matrix in our body, and that more clean atmosphere matrix is not as acidic, and viruses and bacteria cannot thrive in an alkaline environment. They need acid, they need sugar, they need the bad stuff in order to thrive. And when you're reducing the bad stuff for them to thrive, then all you're doing is making a more better symbiotic relationship because we do need these viruses and bacteria in us. They have their own processes. They do something for us. But when they get out of order and become disease, well then that's no good for us. But these things, like grounding, can help keep them in check. And right after that, I'm pretty much ready to go back inside, okay? I hit the shower, okay? And when I hit the shower, it's all right, it's a nice, regular, just like anybody's warm shower. It is I'm having a ball in the shower because I got time because I'm up early and I'm not gonna be late for work this time, right? And it's almost at the end of the shower. I have soaked up everything that needs to be soaked up, particularly my feet. And then I turn it to cold. I turn it to cold so that it's still got pressure going cold, and it's cold. And it is sometimes better than others, right? Sometimes I'm like, you could do this, let's do this. But the reason why I put cold water in my body is because it helps increase my dopamine. It helps me get ready to be zingy in the day, if that's even a word. Can I say zingy? You know what I mean. Jack, you know what I mean, right? Zingy. I am up, I'm awake. My dopamine levels have gotten to rise and increase a little bit, and they are ready to go off. It releases this protein, which is called cold shock proteins, right? And the name of this cold shock protein is RBM3. These proteins play a significant role in helping to reduce inflammation and promote cellular repair. Cold exposure also helps with your mood and reduces stress by promoting this neurotransmitter called norepinephrine, which is amazing, okay? I do a cold shower after a regular shower, minute and a half, or 30 seconds to a minute, but please know that my body knows that we got cold. So I have discovered a couple things that have been helping me, myself, right? So I've been reading, and I've been making it a point to read on a daily basis, at least 10 minutes a day, because I find that when I read, I think it changes my brain some kind of way. That's how I feel. I definitely feel closer to the information. But now let me get real personal with you, okay? So I can read a book like, there's a book by David Dita, and it's called The Way of the Superior Man. It's a pretty good book in helping to understand a heterosexual man's role in life by him knowing what his definitive purpose is and how in going for your definition of what you're supposed to do in life, in going for that, what's it gonna look like in your relationships with your woman or women, or the women that you date. So I've been trying to understand these things, but that's cool. The Way of the Superior Man, it's a great book, I'm still reading it. But then I'll also go and read the Bible, and I'll ask God to say, God, let's just go there, God. Let's see what you got for me today. I'll just open up the Bible. What it seems like is that whenever I get to the end of a phrase or a passage in the Bible, although the message is unclear, probably because I came in the middle of the message, at the end of my reading, I get it. And then I can relate Bible passages to what I just read in like a book like Way of the Superior Man, because I know that God has a plan and that this is his way, and this is not a Christian channel. It's just instead of me listening to someone say their interpretation of a book or the Bible, I figure let me just read it myself and I can make my own interpretations, and I'll gladly share it with you. But yeah, I recommend that you read, okay? When you read something that like The Morning Miracle or Think and Grow Rich, these type of books, those I think, or the Bible, those I think are made or written to elevate man to higher levels, because there's definitely levels to it. I get that now. Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, let's say, who's my man? Bill Gates, okay? Elon Musk, yeah, I said that. So these people right here, I'm gonna say that they're well-read. Oprah will have Deepak Chopra on her show all the time. And that guy has written many books, and he is very in tune with what he's got going on, with the way that the spiritual energy and the laws of the universe work. And because of that, I say, you know what? Reading is fundamental. And I say, although your car can be like your classroom and you can listen to a book, that is good. But I promise you, reading changes your mind and just makes it stronger for you to do more than you thought you could ever do. That's what I have been discovering in my reading, in my mornings, and then being able to apply those things during the day. And then I get to connect with people that I would not be able to have these conversations with unless I've read some books. So when I first started reading, as a matter of fact, when I got into dental school, before I got into dental school, I was a rock star. I used to hang out hard. There was no bedtime, right? I mean, I had a bowl of cereal in the middle of the night, 1 o'clock in the morning when I came home from a gig. That's right. And my cereal was Special K with Fruit Loops, with some soy milk, heated up in a microwave. Delicious. All right, now, that is not necessarily good for me, okay? But here's what I discovered when I first started reading, right? So I'd open the book and I'd start reading and I start getting real sleepy. I'm like, I can't hold on, right? And I find that I kind of fall asleep with the book. It actually repels me from reading. Like, it made me not want to read anymore because I'm like, I'm not a good reader. But all I did was stick with it. And then it started making me less sleepy when I started reading. So if you find that you're trying to read your books and you're like, I'm gonna do 10 minutes. Jeff said do 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Great. And I don't know if that's your voice. That could be your voice. But if you start doing it and you find that it's hard to get to 10 minutes, that's okay, stop. Don't force it. Give yourself 1 minute, 2 minutes. Work yourself up to 10 minutes. Work yourself up to longer than that. But as long as you do it consistently, just kind of like meditation, the consistency is really where it is. If you do 1 minute of meditation every day, that is way stronger than doing 10 minutes of meditation once a week. All right, so consistency is key. I plan to write a book for you guys. I plan to have a product that is going to give you so much value, even though you still have to do it yourself, whatever it is. So if you're reading something and you don't take action on it, or you don't let it change you, well, then it's really not functional for you. So you just have to make sure that if something moves you and inspires you, please make sure that you take the appropriate and necessary action that it is in order to solidify the thing that you've already learned in the book and to move your program forward into the future so that you can get closer to whatever it is that you've defined as your definitive or definite purpose in life. What are you going to do? How are you going to help humanity? What are you going to do to help the rest of the world? This right here is my free routine. You don't need anything. You don't need weights for exercise. You could do jump squats. You could just do regular squats, like 100 of them. You could do push-ups. You could do sit-ups. You do not need weights, okay? You could use your body weight as weights. This is free because I've had comments of people that ask, what can I do if I don't have enough money to get a gym membership? If I don't have enough money to buy grass-fed beef, right? And they want to get quality meat. Well, I say to all of my friends, I say, look, we all have choices that we have to make. And in a decision that we make, the word decision in and of itself means that you have cut out the possibility of all other things and you have focused on one factor that will be in your mind. You have decided, you have killed other possibility, right? So if you want grass-fed beef and you say that you don't have enough money for grass-fed beef, then you have to look around and see what you spend your money on. If this is something that you truly want, if you even think that it's important enough, right? So cold showers is a free coldness. I also do cryotherapy. I pay for that, and that is sitting in a chamber for 3 minutes under sub-zero, about 200 degrees sub-zero for 3 minutes. I spin around in the box and it's super cold. I pay for that. It's supposed to do more than like an ice bath or something like that, but you have to make your choice as to whether or not you're gonna go for it or you're not gonna go for it. And this is the Go For It channel, right? So your health is your wealth. Your health is the number one thing that you are absolutely responsible for. And this free routine that I'm giving you, this freeness that I'm giving you, is what you can use to boost your immunity so that you can go out and do, for the most part, anything that you want and stay healthy. Of course, you need to cut out extra sugars. Of course, you need to cut out gluten and GMO foods, or at least reduce them as best you can, because honestly, we don't even know when we're getting gluten and GMOs, because the government says that they do not have to say, they don't have to tell you what's in the box, you know? And here's my little quick public service announcement for you, okay? If they say that something's organic, remember that the code that's organic, it starts with a 9, right? And sure, it's a possibility that it says it's organic and the code starts with a 9 and it's not. Yeah, sure, it's a possibility. You take your chance with anything, right? But it's a guarantee, 100%. If it says this is not organic, it is 100% not organic, right? So if you're making a food choice, try to make it organic, all right? If it's a choice between your health and a really amazing pair of Jordans, what do you choose? Because it is up to you to decide, all right? Guys, you have been so awesome for hanging out with me for this long, okay? Please like and subscribe, okay? If this information, if you resonated with some of this information, please send it to a friend or a loved one. Please send it out, share it with everyone that you know, okay? And we have some other things to talk about, so we're gonna talk about them a little later.